Okay, lesson 186. Salvation of the world depends on me. And so the beginning of the lesson is all about remembering our function again and the humility required to overcome the arrogance, which it's almost presented in the worldly view. Humility would mean it can take on that connotation of meekness or weakness or shrinking, although that's not, I don't think that's at all what the word is intending to mean. It's just sometimes it's interpreted that way, like, again, who am I to save the world? And then in reverse, it's saying that it's arrogant to interfere with the truth of your nature, or to argue with the truth, that's arrogant. Like, no, I'm not capable of saving the world. Who am I? But it's like, please remember who you are. And so there were a couple lines that I really liked. I like in paragraph 12 as it says, do as God's voice directs. And if it asks a thing of you which seems impossible, remember who it is that asks and who would make denial. Then consider this, which is more likely to be right? The voice that speaks for the creator of all things, who knows all things exactly as they are, or a distorted image of yourself, confused, bewildered, inconsistent, and unsure of everything. That's kind of rude. It's kind of obvious. Yeah. So again, it was interesting because I know it said here, in your practice periods, it said that somewhere. But what came to me is that, to be honest, I know that we had established the practicing being time in the morning to go beyond the words. I just know that at this point they're like, do we really have to tell you to sit down and be quiet in the morning and at night and intermittently throughout the day? But there's that part of my mind like, oh, we don't have to sit, it doesn't say so. But but I am starting on my own at the very end of the day, before I go to sleep, like the moment before I lay down, which is when I just go out, because I have that ability. It's to just be still and to go again beyond the words, and it's cool. It's happening on its own. That I want to do it. I'm not just saying, oh, I'm supposed to. It's like I want to do it. So I love the end of this lesson too. It says, the whole paragraph actually, but forgiveness is an earthly form of love, which as it is in heaven has no form. Yet what is needed here, I think on this earth, is given here as it is needed. In this form you can fulfill your function even here, although what love will mean to you when formlessness has been restored to you is greater still. Salvation of the world depends on you who can forgive. Such is your function here. And I will tell a quick story that I did get to share with Karen, because I got to see Karen, one of my listeners, today. And last night, right before Justine was falling asleep, because I was being quiet and we just had the fan going and the diffuser, I could hear very loudly a man yelling. And then I heard a child. And I didn't know, like, okay, how many people are out there? What's going on? And then I kept hearing it. Hi, love. Hi. It got louder and intensified. And then I went to another window where we could see the full view of the street. And there was a man, like, yelling at it, probably a 2 or 3-year-old child. And I came to know that the child kept wanting to walk in the middle of the road. So the man's walking, carrying some kind of can, looked like soda or something, but it was kind of hard to tell if he was drunk or what. But then he's leaving the child to walk on its own, and it keeps walking into the road. And he's saying, stop it, get out of the road. And then I saw him push the child off the road into like the grass, but like just pushed him. And I could just see either he was drunk or he was just in such a state of frustration. I could just see it. And the reason I can is because I know I have had those moments of, I'm so frustrated. I've been trying to be patient. I've tried what I know to correct and it's not working. And now I'm just like, fine, like, but he was going in this other way of like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then the kid screaming. So I was just like, okay. The coolest thing was, I was not comfortable, but I was like, I yell out the window, sir, do you need some help? And he was like, I've just had it. I'm sorry. He's not listening. I'm like, I understand. I have a small child. And I like hold Justine up in the window. Hi. And it didn't get much better. The kid yelled. He said, that's it. And he picked him up and he's saying, no, no, no. And they walk across the street. They go into their yard. And then I heard yelling and I think I heard hitting. And then I went downstairs and I was like, if I hear him hitting the child, I'm going over there. Meanwhile, Justine's naked. I'm in my pajamas, like braless. And I'm like, I don't care. I have no shoes on, but I was about to bolt out that door and say, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know what I would have said, but it was like, what was coming through me was like, sir, I cannot stand by and watch you. This is not healthy. Would you like to go cool off? I will watch your child for a moment. Go take a walk. Breathe deeply. If you need more instruction, I can provide that. But no to hitting the child. And like, I didn't say that to him. I didn't have to, but the main takeaway for me was I wasn't scared to the point of like frightened, or I wasn't really judging him. It was like, as Jennifer Hadley teaches, was like, sir, you have scissors, you're hurting someone. I am not going to allow you to hurt them. You need to go with your scissors, put them down or walk away, but I'm getting in between, and I am like on the alert. Like, I don't need to recreate more, but if I see more, I feel very clear and confident what to do. And I can also ask Spirit. That's what the lesson is saying. Like, first ask the fact that you're willing to say, how can I be helpful? But like, I know in the past I would have just judged him and been mad about the situation, but I was like, I had this like empowered stance. And I was kind of saying like, I understand frustration. I do. And like, let's get to a point in humanity where we help each other. We don't just judge or, call the police, which it may be necessary, or whomever to call. It's just, I just felt connected to him and willing to like show up and like, hey, and that felt like an improvement. I've been in circumstances where I've been very uncomfortable and I've just kind of collapsed into that and not been able to be of much help, but a lot of perception involved in this. But I'm just sharing my experience, and I had the takeaway that I can clearly see how that could be my healing. Let me heal the times I've gone beyond kindness to even being unkind and in any way aggressive. Sometimes my aggression is more like, I can't be next to you right now, Justine. I need a moment. And sometimes it's that separation, like, what can I do with you? And like, there was a day she was just, I told you guys about it, she was just like melting down. But later the next day in the grocery store, as I'm pushing the cart, it came to me. She was hungry. And so I was very aware that this child's needs were not being met on some level, and that's the behavior out, you know. But like, I'm just humbled the fact that I get frustrated, and I also am aware I get like the answers when I'm patient, and my goal would be to more and more and more be able to have compassion and relate to all of humanity, because then from that place you can have a, like that man, I yelled out to him like, "Sir, do you need help?" And he said, "No, you know, and I'm sorry." And it's like, he wasn't yelling back at me like, "Mind your own business," you know. It wasn't antagonistic, which I'm like, okay. And it's healing my own guilt potentially. And that's what I took away, was like, okay, wow, that projection was uncomfortable to see. I relate to it, and I'm willing to just energize and send love in the form of whatever I need to do. The Spirit's voice will direct you. So thank you for letting me share that. It happened after I filmed the video, you know, or I would have talked about it, but like, it was powerful. So thank you for your deep practicing. Justine's busy. We have to go to bed soon. Okay, bye for now.